Tova, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shana Tova. It's so good to be with you. Oh, so good to be with you. Let's all start by greeting each other. You can put your hands on your heart, give a little good energy, and then put your hands right up towards the screen so that everyone sees each other and we welcome you in. We have figured out a way to have Kim, our ASL interpreter, be right there on your screen all the time. So you should be seeing her now. And if it's on speaker view, you'll see us and the interpreter. And if you want to do gallery, you can scroll through and see everyone there. Wanting to let you know about how we have kept safe. We are in this beautiful outdoor space at St. Paul's Commons. Much gratitude to the Episcopal Diocese and to Frank Alton for having us be here in Echo Park. And we are outside, we are distanced, and we all recently have been tested, very recently, so that we are able to be around each other and singing together. So with that, we are going to enter into a place of gratitude this morning. Moda Ani. If you have the prayer book, we're on 68, and the digital version will be in the chat. Continue now with Elohai Neshama. We start each day acknowledging that the soul, the precious soul inside of each one of us is pure, it's holy, it's worthy, it's good enough, it's good. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tahorahi, page 75.
Elohai Neshama שנתת בי תאורי, אלוהי נשמה, שנתת בי תאורי, כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי מודה אני, כל זמן
Birkot HaShachar, offering blessings this day. Hakarat HaTov, gratitude, drawing out the goodness, an inventory of praise and blessing, page 77.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לך שכבי בינה להבחין בין יום ובין לילה.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, for the ability to distinguish day from night.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלמו.
For shaping us in your image.
וכבד רוח העולם שעשני בן חורים.
For creating us to be free.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
For giving us the life of the Jewish people.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם פוקח עברי.
For opening our eyes.
78, Amen.
ברוכת רוח העולם מלבישה רומי.
Clothing our bodies.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מתיר אסורי.
For helping us break free when we are bound.
ברוך אתה אלוהינו מלך העולם זוקף כתפי.
For helping us rise when we are falling.
ברוך אתה אלוהינו מלך העולם רוקה הארץ על המים.
For placing us in an ordered universe.
ברוך אתה אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני כל צורכי.
For enabling us to meet our needs.
ברוכת רוח העולם מכינה מצעדי גבר.
For giving our people strength to endure.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
For crowning Israel with strength.
ברוך אתה אלוהינו מלך העולם עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
Crowning.
For crowning us
Israel.
with
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן ליעף כוח.
when the world is tired out. For giving us hope of a new day.
Amen ve'amen. We continue with Brucha she'amra. Blessed is she who spoke in the world, who came into being. Blessed is she who keeps making creation. Blessed is she who speaks and acts. Blessed is she who decrees and fulfills. Blessed is she who is merciful to the land. Blessed is she who is merciful to all creatures, who rewards those who stand in awe of you, who lives and exists forever. Blessed is your name. I invite you to move your body. Brucha she'amra. reach your body all the way up. Oh, and reach your body all the way down. And reach your body all the way to the sides of you and all the way back behind you and in front of you, just like on Sukkot when we do all directions. That's coming just after Yom Kippur. Let's bring in goodness, oh, goodness from all directions. All directions. Boy, do we need it. Make sure you also are pulling it up from the ground and into your body, and big, big breath. Oh, and out. And we continue with Tov L'Chodot, page 87, and then we will go into Ashrei on page 93. Go. For Shabbos.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת. שבת שלום.
Okay, everybody, we've heard from you in the chat that you're not hearing us. so well. And it's choppy. And so we just want to acknowledge that. We're seeing you. So we're just going to take a moment and we're going to do a shift onto Zoom Direct. We were trying to do audio a different way, but we hear that it hasn't really worked. So thank you for being patient. Savlanut, one of our midot. We are really hearing it well. So I hope that you are experiencing, at least in the joy that we are feeling in making music together, that it is okay. But I think we should continue. Should we continue with Ashrei? Okay, and we are continuing to work on the audio. Okay, for most people it's improved. Okay, great. Okay, so Ashrei, page 93. Chant with us. So I think you all are hearing it now. I see more smiles. So we're going to acknowledge that we're at the 10 a.m. part where we have offered other people now to come on in. So let's. You can't hear me.
No.
Nancy's saying no, cannot hear. Okay. Very sorry, everyone. Is there somebody else's mic?
Can you hear me now?
Let's do our melech.
So can I borrow your microphone?
Unless we're about to do Hamela.
No, we're going to welcome everyone.
Okay, go for it.
I guess we could, yeah.
Or we could do hallelujah.
Yeah?
Cool.
We're going to go to page 109, Hamelech. על כיסא רם ונישא שוכן על מרום וקדוש שמו וכתוב רננו צדיקים באדוני לישרים נאווה תהילה בפי שרים תתרומם ובדברי צדיקים תתברך ובלשון חסידים תתקדש ובקרב קדושים תתהלל ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ.
Page 110 at the top. לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו שיהיו שמך הללויה לא ממשלה נצח גדולה גבורה תהילה ותפארת קדושה ומלכות ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם.
ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך גדול ותשבחו אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות הבוחר בשירי זמרה מלך אלכי העולמי.
Hatzi Kaddish, page 111.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דיברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון וביום חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם לברך לעולם ועולם ועולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה ולעילה מן כל מחתה ושיעתה תהוש וחתה ונחמתה דמיין בעלמה וימרו אמן.
Amen. Okay, here we are. Some of you were here for that opening morning blessing section, and some of you are just have come in as we are now about to do the Baruch Hu and start the full service. I want to take another moment and greet. More people have come, so please put your Zoom into gallery mode. Again, connect with your heart and put your palms up to the screen. I'm turning to the side because that's where you are all on my gallery mode. There we go. Let's greet each other. Just want to acknowledge we are in Zoom land. We are in these new times. Sometimes there are technical glitches, and we just are going to breathe through them. We want to acknowledge the land that we are on this morning, Tongva land here in Los Angeles, acknowledging the first peoples of this nation, acknowledging the Episcopal Diocese who's given us this space here. Thank you to Frank Alton and St. Paul's Common for allowing us to be here this morning. Again, you can be on speaker, you can be in gallery mode. It's quite beautiful to be in gallery mode. I can see all of you. I'm so glad to be with you this morning. Shana Tova. I don't know about how many of you who are here in Los Angeles with that earthquake last night. You can move around right now if you felt it. Did you feel that earthquake? Oh my goodness. And my first thought was like, wow, really? I think somebody yesterday was saying to me at our Erev Rosh Hashanah something about what else could happen. Don't ever put that out there. I just want to say that because lots and lots of things are happening. I thought, what an interesting beginning to 5781. Deep in the night of Erev Rosh Hashanah, we get a shake, a rattle, and a roll. So let's shake up this new year. We are in need of shaking up this year. I think the earth says, please, everybody, maybe you are not getting my hints yet, but I need it to be different. I need you to treat the earth different. I need you to treat each other different. Let's shake it up. 5781. Not to get complacent. We got it. We don't have it's our shofar, the earthquake this morning. We felt her. And for those of you who are not in Los Angeles, let me tell you, we felt the earth move in the middle of the night. So we continue now with the Baruch Hu. We're going to ask everybody to please rise to find the east, wherever that is in your home. We bow and bend our bodies. We know that we are one small part of a larger whole. We give praise to the whole. We give praise and acknowledgement that we are not here alone. We did not get here on our own. And we need to all be here, a part of this bigger whole. The Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We praise the light. 113, Yotzer.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם יוצר אור ובורא חושך עושה שלום ובורא את הכל.
A new light comes from Zion. Oh, how we need a new light. Or Chadash. It's 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom of the Hebrew on 114. You could be seated now if you're still standing. Or if you feel like standing the entire time. Do whatever your body needs.
Oh
to the blessings that surround the Shema, blessings of loving, I do want to acknowledge, because I didn't in this second greeting, that we are all taking precautions in terms of COVID. We are outside, we're distant, and so you all know, we all just got tested in order to be around each other and singing this morning. So I want you to, if you were having anxiety about that, to take a breath and let that go. So around our loving, ahava rabbah, love in abundance, we say in this prayer, the Torah, the giving of Torah was an act of loving. An act of loving and giving Torah. There's tenderness and loving in great abundance all the time around us. And part of what we are endeavoring to do with each other is to learn how to love each other well, to learn how to care, have responsibility, and have knowledge of each other. We want to see and know and be heard. And we want to experience that ourselves, and we want to offer that to those in our lives. Ahava Rabbah, page 116. Take a breath in for the Shema, and we breathe out. Take a breath in, and we breathe out. One more breath in. Breathing in love, breathing out love. We invite you to take yourselves off of mute now as we will chant the Ve'ahavta together. And while we're chanting the Ve'ahavta, we'll have a little audio help so that we can continue and you can hear me. So if you can't hear me, maybe you could tell everybody that we're chanting the Ve'ahavta.
We're going to, if you couldn't hear Rabbi Susan, we're going to together chant the Ve'ahavta, and during that time, she's going to try to improve her audio situation so that you all can hear her. So here we go. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. We turn now to page 126, and whoever is wearing a talit or tzitzit, when I get to the word tzitzit, we can acknowledge the tzitzit with a quick kiss.
Quick kiss.
A long kiss.
A long kiss.
Quick
It wants to be quick in our kissing. Yeah, okay.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Beautiful. Okay, everyone. Now we are so delighted to get to share with you a community singing together. In fact, those of you who sent in yourselves singing courage, this micha mocha, this courage. Oh, how we are needing so much courage. And we have put together Dan is our beautiful percussionist and also a video editor, and he put together the videos of all of you singing, and we are excited to get to share with you as a Rosh Hashanah treat the sounds and the sights of our community getting to sing together. Courage, micha mocha.
everything okay now? No. Is it working?
Dan, what did you do? Your video's all choppy.
I know.
Thanks, let's encourage.
Thank you very much. What's that? There's always solutions.
I have music.
Yeah.
And no music.
We don't know that.
No, there wasn't.
No, it's not working.
Just let it play. The music's working.
It's not really. But
It's all choppy.
We can hear. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's why you get 10 days and then you get Yom Kippur. Chance to do it all over again.
About Rebecca's, it isn't.
I would let it.
So maybe just this computer has a weak signal.
Yeah.
And then we can send it to me.
We're gonna play it.
Courage. I don't know how many of you saw that. We will send it to you later. So for those of you who got it choppy, we got it kind of choppy courage over here, but so beautiful to see everyone singing it together, and we'll share it with you so you get to have it. We are going to continue. We're going to continue with Sur Yisrael. Oh, actually, we're going to do the end, Shira Hadasha.
And we get to sing the courage melody all over again.
128, 129.
129 at the top.
Shira Hadasha.
Shira Hadasha, Shivchu Geulim, Leshimcha Sfat Hayam, Yachad Kulam, Odu Veimlichu Ve'amon, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed. Tzur Yisrael, Tzur Yisrael,
Kuma. Kuma, begin to rise.
Kuma Bezat Yisrael.
Standing, Kuma.
Tzur Yisrael, Kuma Bezat Yisrael, ופדך חינומך, יהודה וישראל, ופדך חינומך, יהודה וישראל. עלינו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We enter now into the Amidah, the standing prayer. You're standing towards the east. We are going to face our ark, the beautiful ark made by Mark Murendorf. And we begin page 130. There's about to be a lot of standing. So if your body needs to and it's too difficult to stand, please take the breaks that you need.
ופי ידי תהילתך
והגדול והגיבור והנורא. עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה זוכרנו לחיים מלך חפץ בחיים וכותבנו בספר החיים למענך אלוהים חיים מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך מימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה מי כמוך עבר רחמים זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני
וברוך שמו
מחיי המתים
We continue on 135 at the bottom with the Unatana Tokef prayer, one of the central prayers of these holy days, asking, asserting that we don't know, that our lives are uncertain, but that we can, through our work in the world, lessen the harshness of what is unfolding. Boy, how we feel that this year. Unatana Tokef 135.
ונתנה תוקף קדושת היום כי הוא נורא ביום ובו תנצח מלכותך ויכון בחסד כיסך ותשב עליו באמת ותשב עליו באמת באמת כי אתה דיין ומוכיח ויודע בהם וחוטב וחוטב וסופר ומונה וחוטא וסופר ומונה. Bottom of page 136. ובשופר גדול ייתקע וכל מעמד הקיץ יישמע ומלאכים יחפצו ויחילו ידי יוחזו ובשופר גדול ייתקע וכל מעמד הקיץ יישמע ומלאכים יחפצו ויחילו ידי יוחזו ויאמרו הנה יום הדין לפקוד על צבא מרום בדין כי לא יזכו עיניך בדין.
The great shofar is sounded and a still small voice is heard. The angels in heaven rush about dismayed. They are seized with fear. With trembling they cry out, behold the day of judgment. On Rosh Hashanah it is inscribed, and on the fast of atonement on Yom Kippur it is sealed. How many shall move on, and how many be created? Who shall live and who shall die? Page 138.
בראש השנה ייכתבו וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו. בראש השנה ייכתבו וביום צום כיפור כמה יעברו וכמה יבררו מי יחיה ומי ימות מי בקית לו ומי לא בקית.
Who at the culmination of their life and who not at the culmination, who by fire and who by water, who by sword and who by wild beast, who by famine and who by drought, who by earthquake and who by epidemic.
בראש השנה ייכתבו וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו. בראש השנה ייכתבו וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו. מי באש ומי במים, מי בחרב ומי בחיה, מי ברעב ומי בצער, מי ברעש ומי במגפה, מי בחניקה ומי בסקילה, מי ינוע ומי ינוע.
Who by strangling and who by stoning, who shall have rest and who can never be still, who shall be serene and who torn apart, who shall be at ease and who afflicted, who shall be impoverished and who enriched, who shall be brought low and who shall be raised high.
בראש השנה ייכתבו וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו.
that teshuva, returning to our deepest values, tefillah, prayer, centering, listening deep, and tzedakah, work for justice. These will move us past the pain of the decree.
Teshuva, utefila, utzedakah, ma'avin et roa hagezer.
We continue on page 141 with the Kedusha.
מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מים, ככתוב על ידו, וכזה קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, אלוהי כל הארץ צבאותו, אלוהי כל הארץ צבאותו, אז בקול רשתנו, אדיר וחזק נשיבו, מנסים ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. Top of page 142. ממקום חלקנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי לך כי אנחנו, כי לך כי page 143. קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהים מפי לא ינוש לעולם ועד כי אלך גדול וקדוש
Continue now with our own silent prayers through page 157. We are continuing to stand unless you feel you need to rest, which is fine. But if you can stand, continue to be on your feet, showing up for these prayers for yourself, for the community. We continue with Avinu Malkeinu. We are still on our feet, friends. If you can remain standing, part of the idea is to allow the physical fatigue to begin to help to open our hearts wider. Avinu Malkeinu, page 158, our forgiving parent, our sovereign. You will also hear that we will say different words to address the divine towards the end of this prayer. We're going to use the term Ein Sof, without end, the mystical idea of the divine without end, all things without end. And we'll put in Ahava without end, love without end, Rachamim without end, Ein Sof without end. We begin Avinu Malkeinu 158 on our feet.
אבינו מלכנו חטאנו לפניך
Avinu Malkeinu, we have done wrong before you.
אמנו רוחנו אין לנו מלכה
We have no sovereign except you.
אין סוף אהבתנו חדש עלינו שנה טובה
Let renewed goodness fill the year ahead.
אין סוף רחמים שלח רפואה שלמה לחולי עמך
Passion without end, send healing to all who are ill.
אבינו מלכנו הפרצת אוהבינו
Avinu Malkeinu, forgiving parent, overturn the plots of those who bear us enmity.
אמנו רוחנו כלי דבר חרב ורב שבי ומשחית מבני ביתך
Blessed Mother, remove from all your children disease, war, famine, exile, and destruction.
אין סוף אהבתנו סלח ומחה לכל עוונותינו
So without end, Havatenu, love, forgive and pardon all our wrongdoing.
אין סוף רחמנו החזירנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך
Passion without end, return us to you in earnest repentance.
אבינו מלכנו כתבנו בספר חיים טובים
Parent, inscribe in us your book for life of goodness.
אמנו רוחנו כתבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה
Blessed Mother, inscribe us in the book of sustenance, page 160.
אין סוף אהבתנו כתבנו בספר זכויות
Inscribe us in the book of meritorious acts.
אין סוף רחמנו כתבנו בספר שחילה ומחילה
Inscribe us in the book of forgiveness and reconciliation.
אבינו מלכנו חמול עלינו נעול עלינו וטפנו
Show mercy to us and to our children.
אין סוף רחמנו פתחי שערי שמיים לתפילתנו
Open the gates of heaven to our prayer.
אין סוף אהבתנו עשה למען באי ואש ובמים על קידוש שמך
Do it for the sake of those who went through fire and water to honor your name. Okay. Please sing with us. Sing wherever you find yourself. Sing together. take all of that, all of those prayers and all of that goodness and all of that pleading, and you can be seated. Now we are going to invite Kate Maller to share some words about the community. Before she does, after Kate speaks, we're going to go into the Torah service. And after Torah and creative Haftorah service and a creative shofar service, we're going to be doing going to the Midot groups, which you know is our tradition on Rosh Hashanah morning. We'll be going into breakout rooms to discuss the different values of our tradition that we can center to guide our year. So in our Nefesh community, we are a Midot-driven community. We choose one Midah to center our year. So right now you'll see a poll that's going to come up on your screen, and it's going to ask you which group you would like to participate in when we get to that point in the service. So if you see it now, if you could complete it, and that way we will know which group to place you in. So if you don't know, you could just say mixed midot. If none of the ones that are on the list appeal to you, you'll be in a mixed group. If one group is small, it might end up being a mixed group as well. We have community members who have volunteered to facilitate these groups, people who've been working their own midot practice for some time now. So go ahead and select now the midah that you would like to be in that group. And if you need ASL interpreting, please write that in the chat now, that you will need the interpreter to be in your group when we have that discussion later. Okay. I think that should have given you a moment to select that now. And when you've had a chance to do that, now we're going to ask Kate Maller to share some words about our Nefesh community.
Actually broadcasting to you live from Indiana right now. I'm from Indiana. Thinking, there's Jews in Indiana? There are, one of them, and there's not very many. So I didn't grow up with access to this kind of rockin', awesome, progressive Judaism at all. And my parents, love you, Mom, Mom's over here, appreciate it. Sent me to Hebrew school, Sunday school. That's my baby. Sorry. I was bat mitzvah, but it didn't really get in there. And the only time really in my life that I felt very connected to my Judaism was at summer camp, Jewish camp, ironically called Camp Gucci, and ironically located in Zionsville, Indiana. But it was a camp really because of the music, at camp that I felt so connected to. And then as I grew up, I was really so hungry to tap into this precious legacy that I knew was my Buddhism, but I didn't know how to enter it. I didn't know how to tap into it. And I would go to various temples on high holidays, sort of out of guilt and out of obligation, but also searching. And it was like my body withstood the service, and I was there, but it didn't get it. And then a few years ago, when my first son was a little baby, my sister, who's a brilliant Judaic scholar, teacher, I am not, but my sister is, she told me, Katie, you should check out Nefesh. And I went to a service Friday night service at Nefesh when I was in the building. And this is what
We
I've
cut
been
through?
searching for all these years.
No, sorry.
Yeah?
Indiana, and a little bit
The street is right there,
here
though.
was this
I know, my car's right there, though.
bluegrass,
Now I have to walk around.
music, and,
We're shooting. We're just live at the moment.
it was like,
Sorry.
I'm praying I can get through.
she just gave me the tour in a way that I thought myself out there in services, and I maybe ask stupid questions, and just out of not knowing. And it's okay. There's a seed at the table. And there's a seed at the table for every single one of you. I know that if I follow someone from Nefesh will bring me soup to my doorstep, and it can take snacks. If you follow, I will be there for you. I want to raise my sons to be there for you. And if anything this year, this is freaking me. If anything this year has taught us, it's that we are not meant to be alone. We need community. And if you haven't been hit by financial hardship, and you have the means and the blessings to do so, I invite you to reach in your pockets and see what you come up with and what you're able to do. And I invite you to take a seat at this table, this beautiful, expansive, diverse table in this home we are working to build. Just take a seat with me. And from the depths of my heart, I recognize what a year this has been. And I wish every single one of you a beautiful, sweet new year. Shana Tova, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kate. That was really moving to hear. Thank you. We're going to move now into the Torah service. And we have had a beautiful blessing of there being many babies born in our community in 5780 this past year. In fact, most of them after the COVID time began. So it's usually our tradition in the Nefesh community that the families come up to open the ark. So we are now going to have images of the new babies and the families in our community as we begin the Torah service. And if you have babies and families there at your house, you guys can reach for the Torah and know that you can help me open the ark doors as we begin now. So we're on page 163 with Ein Kamocha.
Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha, malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitem. Adonai yivarech et amo
Please rise.
Av harachamim hitiva birzonecha et Zion tivne chomot Yerushalayim tivne chomot Yerushalayim ki lecha levad patachnu melech ram lenisa Adon olamim.
Page 165 at the top.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed ve'emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim,
will do call and response now. I'll chant the Shema and you will answer. And then I'll chant the Echad and you will answer. We are on page 165 at the bottom and then 166 at the top. I want to take a moment and say this is the first time we have this new Torah that's been gifted to our community by Alan Knight in honor of his beloved wife and our beloved friend and Nefesh community member Rivka Knight. We will have a chance to dedicate it later, but I just want to acknowledge because this is the first time with our own Nefesh Torah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, V'kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah shemo.
Kadosh v'norah.
Gadol Adonai iti, u'ne'omema shemo yachad.
Okay, everybody reach to your screen, to the Torah. Here it comes. I felt like you were here reaching for that beautiful new Torah of ours. Okay, friends, we are going to chant from the Torah now. We have 3 community members who are going to be chanting Torah, so we will be coming to you to do that. And David will be looking in the Torah scroll. It's halakhically good and okay to have one person chanting somewhere as long as one person is at the Torah scroll reading along. So we will have that. So in the Torah portion for today, friends, every year on Rosh Hashanah, we hear about Sarah and we hear about her longing to have a baby. And in this Torah portion, Adonai pakad et Sarah, Adonai, God takes note of Sarah and she becomes pregnant with Isaac. And then we hear that in this place of being filled with joy for a new baby is soon fear fear comes, deep fear comes to Sarah, and she is worried about some not enoughness and a competition for Abraham's attention and for inheritance. And so she pushes Ishmael and Hagar, the first child that Abraham had with his maidservant Hagar, Ishmael, out into the wilderness. And it's a perilous situation, and Hagar cries out and asks for help, and an angel comes and sees Ishmael and helps him and Hagar. So this Torah portion really asks us to look at fear every Rosh Hashanah, and also about longing and about fertility and many and pushing out and othering. Lots of things are held inside this Torah portion. So we're going to begin with the first reading now. Our community has a tradition of group aliyot, and so when I say what the call to the Torah, what the theme of this aliyah is, if it speaks to you, we're going to ask you to stand right where you are and feel that you are coming up for this aliyah. You'll be saying the blessing. The blessing will be in the screen for you to see, the Torah blessing. So let me move, and let me just ask, if I move over here, do I have to take the microphone with me, or can people hear? Yes. Okay. Yes? We're okay? Okay, so in this first aliyah, Adonai pakad et Sarah, God takes notices, attends to pakad Sarah, and Sarah, after all these years, conceives and bears a child. So come on up for this aliyah. If you have been working on conceiving, you've been gestating during this time, a project, an idea, a new relationship, maybe even a child, and you are ready to bring something forth into this world. So come up for this aliyah. If you are expressing gratitude for this time, we've had some time in our homes to be working on gestating, working on growing a new idea, a new relationship. So come up for this aliyah as a sign of gratitude, as a statement of gratitude for what you've been working on and conceiving and bringing forth. And you can also come up if you are wanting and ready in this new year to begin the process of gestating in order to give birth to a new inquiry, a new project, a new idea, a new relationship. Keeping in mind that giving birth might mean letting go of something. And so in coming up, you're making a commitment. So, na la'amod, everyone coming up in gratitude for this new project idea you're ready to give birth to, or as a commitment to do so in the new year, na la'amod.
ויעזור ויגן ויושיע לכל החוסים בו ונאמר
אמן. The link for the blessing is in the chat, and the Torah reading is in the chat, so you could go there. Okay, so David, let's see, is there somebody standing? I'm a little far from the screen. Bobby, is there somebody standing who's going to wave and say they want to lead the Torah blessing? And we could take them off of mute. Anybody who wants to lead the Torah blessing? Yes. Okay, so take yourself off of mute. Please, lead us.
ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד.
Gabby Klatsky is reading. Thank you. And the blessings after? Whoever just did the blessings before, please do the blessings after to reading Torah. Bobby, can you unmute the person who did the blessings before to do the blessings after Torah? Amen. I do believe from seeing you at a distance, that's Ari's brother, yes? Leading it? No? Micah? Mika Herstand? I believe so. Okay, Mazel Tov. Thank you for coming up for that. Beautiful. So beautiful. I'm going to give you all a blessing now. All of you who have come up for this Aliyah, stay standing, and I'm going to offer you a blessing. May each of you find the wisdom inside of yourself to bring that which has been growing inside of you out into the world. May you know that all you need to do so is both inside of you and surrounding you. May you find the support from those who love and care about you to bring all that you have into the world, and may it be received, and may you continue to acknowledge and give gratitude for bringing your gifts to this world that is so in need of your gifts. And we say, Amen. Okay, you can be seated. It is also the case in our community that if you want to come up for more than one Aliyah, please do. There's no limit to the blessings that we can all offer and share here. So here's the next Aliyah. Isaac grows and is weaned. Sarah then becomes greatly distressed by Hagar and Ishmael and asks Abraham to kick them out of the community. There is such stress and fear and distress all of us are experiencing in this year. And we have to be so mindful of how our fear works on us and makes us do things. And I'll just say, as a precursor, I've thought a lot about fear, and on Yom Kippur morning, that's where we're going to be spending some time in my sermon and teaching. So come up for this Aliyah if you want to look at how fear is moving in your life. How is fear affecting you, all of us this year? If you're wanting to notice, befriend, learn from, and shape your fear and the fears all around us in this world this year, to learn about how to work with them, how to work with our fear and the collective fear in new ways. Come up to come to know your fear in new ways and move with it for the good. Na'amod, everyone, not la'amod, everyone coming to learn about your fear and move with it in new ways in 5781. Come on up for this Aliyah. And Ruthie will be chanting, and we need somebody to lead us in this blessing who's come up. Bobby, do you see somebody there waving, ready to lead the blessing? If not, Sally can lead the blessing on behalf. Oh, you have somebody? Great. Worth the wait.
ברוך אדוני ברוח לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai habarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Now, Ruthie will read to us. And the blessings after? Thank you, Ruthie.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, a blessing for all of you who've just come up for that aliyah around working, befriending, coming to know your fear. Oh, may you do so. May you find the way to draw near, karov, draw near to the fear, to ask it what it has to teach you, what you can learn from it. And may you learn how to walk with it, move with it, shape it, transform it, so that it and you are in relationship. Rather than it driving you forward, you are in a relationship where it is seen and acknowledged, but it does not have to be the driver of how you move through life. And may you find ways to help with the collective fear all around us. May you find ways to comfort and soothe and give compassion to many whose lives are centered in fear. May your learning about your own fear bring blessings and goodness to the collective as we all move through the fear that is around us. And may this year of 5781 be a year where we transform our fear, not get rid of it, acknowledge it, befriend it, and help us to lead into new places, into new directions. And we say, Amen. We're going to call up now our third Aliyah. Tara will be reading this Aliyah. Hagar, who's been kicked out with her son Ishmael, is in the wilderness, and she can't take it anymore. They've run out of food and water, and she breaks down, and she calls out to God, who hears her heart-breaking open prayer. And he says, God says, she says, they say, Ein Sof responds, I have heard the boy right where he is. Ba'asher hu sham. Ba'asher hu sham, right where he is. Come up for this Aliyah if you are ready to open to seeing right where you are, right where we all are in this moment. Sometimes, especially in hard times, it's hard to see because we're imagining nostalgia for a past that maybe even wasn't as good as we imagined. And we're imagining a future that we don't know where it's going to go yet. And it's hard to be Ba'asher Husham, right here, right where we are. So come up for this Aliyah. Na la'amod. Everyone come up for this Aliyah who is willing to see ourselves right where we are, not where we imagined we would be, not where we think we should be in our lives and our accomplishments and all that we are doing and all that the world should have done for us, but right where we are, right now, this year, so that we can start from this place to enter into the year fully seeing, fully knowing where we are so that we can work from this place on ourselves and on the world. Now, la'amod, come to Torah. Somebody who's standing from this Aliyah would like to lead us in blessing? Yes, we have somebody. Great. Please.
ברוך ה' מבורך לעולם ועד.
We have Tara reading this reading. We're having a computer problem here. Sorry, Tara. Great. And the person doing the blessing, please. Tanaz, I think that was you. Amen. A blessing for all of us coming up for this particular one. I put myself in this group. May we all, may you find a way to open your heart and your mind, as unfathomable as it may be, to what we are living through now, to be able to fully see it, to not run, to not look to hide or escape or zone out. Maybe occasionally you can zone out, but not to zone out all the time as a stance. To be willing to see and know what is happening in our own homes, in our own hearts, in our neighborhoods, in our city, in our nation, in our country. Let us be willing to see it fully so that we can use our voices, honest voices about who we are and where we are at this moment. At this moment in our collective history, use our voices for the good. To try and make our world better, we have to see where it is. We're not willing to turn away. And for some of us, we are seeing things that have existed for a long time that maybe we haven't been able to see before, but that others have known. Please continue to show us fully all that is unfolding, so that right from here, we can make the world better. We can make our lives better. And let's say, Amen. While the Torah is out, it's an auspicious time for a prayer for healing. So while the Torah is here with us, and thank you to all those who participated, who just read Torah, Gabby Klatzy, Ruthie Polchino, Tara Newworth, and everybody who came up and led blessings, and received blessings. Thank you. Elna Rafanallah, we pray. There's so much healing that's needed. Please say the names of those aloud who you are praying for. And please include a prayer for the collective. Elna Rafanallah, God, please heal her. Elna Rafanallah, God, please heal him. Elna Rafanalahem, God, please heal them. Ve'elna Rafanali, God, please heal me. We pray for a refuah shlema, a whole healing of wholeness, completeness. Say amen. Elna Rafanallah. is time now to lift the Torah. We ask everyone to rise. We are on page 180, V'zot HaTorah, at the bottom of page 180. It's one-sided.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 תורה ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 תורה ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 תורה ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 תורה ציווה לנו משה.
We continue now with our Haftarah service for Rosh Hashanah. We have developed a tradition of connecting deeply with Chana, who this Torah portion is about, this Haftarah, this reading from a selected reading from the prophetic books. It's the book of 1 Samuel. It's found on 183 of the Machzor, the prayer book, or again, of what you've been following along with the PDF in the chat. Hannah is longing for a child. She is longing for a child. She does not have one. And in her deep longing, she commits to offering her child to temple service if she is honored to have a child, and that child is Samuel. And so each year we think about family, something that's at the real foundation of the Jewish tradition, family. And we think about all the different ways there are to create and make family. Certainly there is not one way, and in fact, since ancient times, our people have been making family in many, many ways. People try to talk about, these days people make family in such new ways. No, we've always been doing this. Ancient people have always been making family in new ways. Moses was adopted. Esther was adopted. So much of what's in Torah, so much what we know for our own lives, family is made in new ways. With many parents, with fewer parents, there's so many ways to make family. So every year in our community, we try to raise up family and family in an expansive, loving way. So we're going to begin with the Torah reading. I keep saying that, the Haftarah reading of 1 Samuel in our creative offering.
Calling all angels, calling all angels, walk me through this one, don't leave me alone.
והיא מרד נפש, ותתפלל על אדוני ובכה תבכה, ותדור נדר ותאמר, אדוני צבאות, אמראות תראה, בעני אמתך, וזכרתני ולא תשכח את אמתך, ונתת לאמתך זרע אנשים, ונתתיו לאדוני כל ימי חייו, ומורא לא יישא על ראשו, והיה כי הרביתה להתפלל לפני אדוני, ואלי שומר את פיה. וחנה היא מדברת על ליבה, רק שפתיה נאות, וקולה לא יישמע, ויחשבה אלי לשיכורה.
Part of our deep love, our commitment as a community here in this world, Nefesh has partnered with Sept to support fostering families that into adoption. The aim is to help more families feel empowered to take action and to become foster and adoptive parents. I actually first became part of the Nefesh and second nurture cohort back when we were still part of nurture cohort. At that time, I knew I wanted to adopt, but I also struggled to see how this would work for me. How could I be successful in my academic career and also be a single parent and be there to know my child's needs? And I, in particular, have been drawn to adopting an older child, and adopting a teenager also felt like I was heading into deeper into the unknown. Where would I turn if I needed help? The aim of Nefesh and Second Nurture is to build a community within this community, supporting foster youth and the families that we created to adopt. This sounds like something that you know that we would welcome you to. This includes those who are just thinking about maybe this is the pathway for them, and those that even though they can't make it to foster adopt, but are still looking for ways to help. We welcome all students, and I want you to reach out to me, or to Talia Green from Second Nurture, or to Lisa Sherman, or to any of us that are on this journey. We would love to talk to you more. spend more time together, even outside of kids' events, in hopes that this relationship becomes permanent. That is my goal this year. To build a relationship with a child and ultimately adoption. And I do so know that out of life challenges like this, or need this, we will always have the love and support. For that, I am Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
ויאמר אליה אלי עד מתי תשתכרין הסירי את ינך מעלייך ותען חנה ותאמר לו אדוני אישה קשת רוח אנוכי ויין ושכר לא שתיתי ואשפוך את נפשי לפני אדוני אל תיתן את אמתך לפני בת בליעל כי מרוב שיחי וכעסי דיברתי עד הנה
Calling all angels, walk me through this one. Don't leave me alone. Calling all angels, calling all angels. We're trying and we're hoping, we're hurting and we're loving, we're crying, we're calling, 'cause we're not sure how this goes.
Thank you, Jessica. That was so beautiful and so moving. Friends, we are entering now into the shofar service. Since it is a Shabbat, we are not going to be blasting the shofar today. And we invite you to come tomorrow to social media as we participate in the shofar wave across the city. Our time will be at 3:10 in Eagle Rock, outside of where our Nefesh offices are on Chickasaw in Colorado, but we will share it on Facebook Live and on Instagram Live. And all over the city tomorrow, there will be a shofar wave going from Pasadena all the way through the city to the ocean, with different communities blasting the shofar as a collective Jewish community of Los Angeles. But today we don't blast the shofar. The shofar is meant to wake us up. I think we have had many, many things in this past 5780 calling out to wake us up. If we didn't need any more, the earthquake certainly served as a shofar last night. But importantly, the boot that was on the neck of George Floyd for 8 minutes and 46 seconds was a cry out, a shofar blast to wake up this nation. Many, unfortunately, already knowing so intimately and personally the racism of this nation from our roots and the violence that it leads to in our criminal justice system, in our healthcare system, in our education system, in our economy. So today we are going to offer silence where the shofar service would be. Silence in honor of the life of George Floyd. in honor of the life of Breonna Taylor, in honor of the life of all those killed by police violence, in honor of the trans people killed, oh, so often in our cities and not protected, in honor of those whose deaths are calling out for us to wake up and change this nation. Min hametzar karatiya. From a narrow place, Min hametzar, from a narrow place I called out to Yah, I called out to God. God answered me within the expanse. Anani b'merkav, Yah. We call out from the Meitzar, from this narrow place we are living in. We will chant this prayer and then we will enter into silence. Silence as our blast of shofar. Silence in honoring the dead so that we can work for justice in our lives.
Min hametzar karatiya, anani b'merchavia, min hametzar karatiya, anani
May we awaken into this new year of 5781. Crack open our hearts. Learn. See what we need to see, what we have not seen. before. Get support for the pain, the reality for those of us living daily with this reality. And may we all work together for justice. We return now the Torah to the ark. We ask you to rise. Aligning, realigning with our deepest values. Malchut, that is what Rosh Hashanah is. A time to align with our deepest values. It is why every year on Rosh Hashanah we take the time to choose a midah or two that you're going to focus on for this coming year. If you have not already written in the chat which of the groups you wanted to go to, please take a moment to do that now. Gratitude, generosity, equilibrium, silence, trust, order, simplicity, or mixed group of people looking at different ones. And we will be placing you now into a conversation in a breakout room where you can talk about your midah. Because we need to enter this new year clear on our values. Because in times like these, really in all times, how did our people get through it? By staying connected to our deepest values of kindness and compassion, trust and faith. So many values. You will have a sheet, will be in the chat, of many midot. You may not see the midah that you are wanting to focus on this year offered in a small group, and that is fine. You could choose the mixed midot, or you could go to that group for today and yet still choose another. Our process in our community, Nefesh is a midot-driven community. So we are engaged in the practice of Musar. It is a Jewish spiritual discipline to align our lives with our deepest values. That means all of it. How we talk, how we act, how we approach ourselves and others, and the wider world around us. The Musar practices involve a couple of steps. One is text study, seeing how our tradition understands this particular value. These values are not unique to the Jewish people. In fact, they're shared by all peoples, but we have a particular take on them. So we study text and our wisdom tradition to learn. We come to awareness of how it works in our own lives through talking with a havruta, with a partner, with a friend, with a group. We have a monthly Musar group called where we look at the midot each month on a Sunday that will start in the fall after the high holidays. And we come to discuss and journal and meditate on how we are in relationship to this particular midah. So we have text study, we have awareness, and maybe some practices stop there. I just want to come to know it, but that's not what the Musar practice is. We literally practice it. We have to try new actions, kabbalot, and we can creatively come up with ways to literally exercise the muscle of generosity, of kindness, of compassion, of trust, of faith. We create practices. Some of the practices are what we do not do. That's actually first in the Jewish tradition, what we refrain from in order to make new choices. And then we also do things that get us to practice new choices. And then we lay new pathways through repeated phrases of verses of prayer or of lines from Torah or of writings or of psalms. We lay new foundations in our hearts. We engrave them with new messages about how we want to be in the world. If you look at this midot list, you could think, I could really practice all of these. That is true. But you're going to choose one, maybe two, to focus on this year, to center on this year, so that our lives, especially in difficult times, there is a clarity of what should be driving us forward. Our deepest values, these midot. So we're going to send you into these groups now to have this discussion. We'll have the list of midot there. You'll have a capable member of the Nefesh community who is going to lead you in this discussion. We will see you when you return. And if you need the ASL interpreter and you didn't say that in the chat, please tell us.
Hey everybody, we're trying to get everybody else into groups here. Let's see. 1 second. That's not this one. Sorry, thanks. If you can type a bit in the chat. Which we got. Can't remember. I'm sure you see where to go on this. Search. I know, I was trying to get it's for your pictures. It doesn't alphabetize anybody and you can't search. Okay. Alex Sherman.
in the group? I don't know. Are you a silence person? No, I'm a equanimity person. Maybe I wasn't sure if we moved already. No, you're silent. Oh, meeting. I'm silence. I'm order.
I'm gratitude.
I think we're waiting.
I'm equanimity. Waiting.
I'm trust. I'm trust too. I trust Bobby. It's going to take forever. Hold on. I.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Shana Tova, thank you for your patience. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hi Mabel. So last taking a minute here. It's nice to see all of you.
Hi, Joe.
Hi Grandpa Keith. Hi Keith.
Hi, Ruth.
Hi Avital. Hi Mark. Hi Linda. Hey. Hi Lucky. Yeah, I see you. Hi Zachary. Marvel.
There we go.
Mika. Thank you for your tour reading, Tara.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hi Jody. Hi Arlene and Diva. What's happening?
Thank you.
Who just said that?
Krohnengold said that.
Oh, hi. Hi, my sweet love. Hi, my niece, Mabel. Hi, Mabel. Tomorrow?
Hi, Tara. Hi, Ruth. I hear your voice. I don't see your face. I'm here.
Who's there?
Oh, there you are.
You guys are slowly going to.
How you doing, my sweetie? Hi, Toya. Hi, Heaven. Hi, August.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. Thank you for your patience.
No worries. It's fine to have a little break. I'm gonna step away, but I think the breakout button will still be there, right? It doesn't
Yes.
disappear.
Should still be.
Okay. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Now it is. Hi, Talia.
That's a beautiful palm tree in Echo Park.
Yeah, right here it's been pretty special to look out over Echo Park Lake. I turned towards the Torah. Some of you know that I often say this thing when I'm around that. I say, face east, first Echo Park, and then Jerusalem. And today it's literally facing Echo Park, which is kind of cool.
Your camera's off again.
My camera's off again? That's
Yeah.
fine. Back. It keeps turning itself off.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Ruth.
Thank you for chanting, Gabby.
Hi. Hi.
See you tomorrow, sweet Mabel. You want to wait? You don't want to wait till Monday to see
Yeah, I don't see anything.
can't see my video, but I would like to just ask, does anybody want to start and say what we've done? They think they'd like to focus on this year? Trust.
I want to ask.
Trust. Ruth, why don't you tell us a little bit about trust? Why trust?
Several reasons. One is I just trust that this nightmare we're all living through will end. Really wanting to put out the trust vibe. And my own project, I want to see trust that I can bring it to fruition.
Somebody else want to share?
I just decided faith.
Good one, Amy. And Luna, Faith. You want to say a word about why?
Sure. I think that I tend to be a bit of a control person, and I tend to kind of obsess about things being perfect, and I think I need to let some of that go. Especially for a phase of my life that I'm hoping to enter. So just something to trust and have more faith.
Beautiful. Somebody else to share what you're thinking of? Jody, yeah.
I chose the equanimity, but I really like the Nefesh because, Nefesh, but also it seems to me listening to your body also is it's not just something in your soul. Let's see, that there's a combination of not feeling so much stress in my shoulders, and if I can fix that, I can make some less stress inside. So I like the idea that we're both connected, our physical reality. That's why I chose that.
Yeah, many thoughts on Nefesh. Yeah, and on Shabbos, our offering is many thoughts, right? So the idea that like a rest being offering, I'm always so moved. Because we always think about offerings as doing. Somebody else want to share?
Me, I would like to say something.
Shula, please.
We are not the Nefesh members, we are parents of the Nefesh member, but we're joining to be with you and really connection. To me, connection is important, and I think that during this year, more than ever, I've felt in the connection with people. A lot of people just come out and they greet each other, they connect, they try to speak, they try to say hello. And it's absolutely wonderful. And even in family itself, the connection is very, very strong right now. And by the way, Ari was in Texas, we were together. And all of you know how Austin, Texas is so behind. Thank heavens we are in Austin, so Austin is a big more so that's what I'm going to say. Not being even connected to your nice
Beautiful. Thank you, Sheila. So glad to have you guys. Zachary, what do you think you're going to focus in on this year?
We were thinking of focusing on trust, but I think this guy has
Yeah, I felt trust immediately
I was just going to move the table out.
through this year.
If you don't mind
and actually
helping.
beginning of this year, so kind of starting on a new slate with trust at the center of that kind of is the foundation for how we move forward.
Bitachon is a very powerful path, and it also has this really beautiful integration between emunah, faith, and trust. To me, I feel bitachon is like grounded in faith. There's lots to explore in the year ahead. And I'll just put out to all of you, I guess I'll do it, if you're ever wanting to talk about how God is always there. Together do you have one that you're thinking about? Maybe you all figured out that this became your group when you're doing together. So if you have also to go to a different group, this is your group. And if you want to reach out to somebody in the community who is facilitating one of the groups, like if you wanted to reach out to Sally about water, say there, you would be welcome to do that. Shula, could you guys mute yours? So you can, anybody else? I think we have like 10 seconds. Yeah, Gabby. Tell us, please.
Well, it took a lot of time to not to wait. I'm trying to listen, and I think it ties into trust also because I put a lot of stuff out, and I really just want to slow down and listen and step I write everything.
Show simplicity, just trying to make life a little bit easier each step of the way as much as we can.
Gabby, do you want to share a little bit? Because I didn't realize you were here. I didn't see you because you're one of these group leaders. How you've worked with me down in the past so people know sort of what the process is like.
So a couple of things. My main, the tool that has really worked best for me has been keeping a journal on the surgery to just reflect non-judgmentally at the end of each day of what came up that relates to it, or without deciding whether it was good or bad, but just noticing like this happened and it affects him. And then, what I try to do, but I'm really not very good at, is to have some kind of reminder first thing in the morning. But sometimes, days go by and I can't even remember what my midday is, so I'm not paying attention to it. So just, that's actually my goal this year is to find a way to touch into it every day. That and the touch it.
Yeah, the time-based practices are very central to Jewish tradition and also to Musar. We choose a time in the morning, at the same time, to do a daily reflection is afterwards, is just before bed. And if you don't do that, it doesn't have a container. So you choose a time when you're going to do that reflection. Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, it's always a good time to reflect on the week and say, how did God show up this week? How could I have done this more? And just what Gabby demonstrated, like actually I'm trying right now to use the Mitzvah assignments. It's like keeping it alive all the time. Oh, I think everybody's coming back. Yeah? Okay, so which camera am I in now? This little computer, or should I go back?
Right now you're there, and then we're going to change the shot.
Okay, everyone, we're going to go to concluding the service now. Before we do, I just want to appreciate you for both your patience in getting into the groups and the group leaders for facilitating that conversation. I want to say a couple things that, a lot of people come and seek spiritual guidance from me, which I so value. And if that's something you're wanting in your life, you're welcome to reach out to me. I'll say about the midot or anything. But if you do want help working on your midah, you're welcome to reach out and we can sit together. We used to sit together in person and have a cup of tea, but you can still have a cup of tea over Zoom, it turns out. You can have a cup of tea anywhere. One of the things that comes up for people is they want to do a practice of a spiritual practice, but somehow it should just sort of happen to them, but that's not how it works. Spiritual practice happens with that practice word, right? It's a commitment, a daily commitment, a weekly commitment, a monthly, a year-long. And the Jewish tradition is very much shaped around these time periods. So choosing a time period each day where you'll have a reflection on your midah, maybe that's first thing in the morning, maybe that's before you go to sleep. And you can, Gabby was sharing in our group about journaling, or you can have a friend who you check in with once a week, maybe just before Shabbat starts on Friday night. You'll have, hey, let's check in on our midah every week and just sort of reflect, looking at this past week, how did it go? these practices are transformational, but not unless you actually put in the practice and the discipline to allow them to transform you. Nefesh is a community that's committed to spiritual growth. And that is because we commit to doing that work. It's not a passive community. We're an active community. And we get support from each other to do that growth work. So know that you can reach out to other people in the community. Hey, I saw you on the Zoom. Are you working on a particular midah? For those of you who are just in groups together on the same midah, I hope you noticed who was with you, because you can continue to check in. We want our values to be at the center of our lives, theoretically. But if we don't do that practice, they won't be. And it really affects everything. They're from our internal processing, how we talk to and see ourselves. Also, a lot of us may need to work that process of honor and compassion and kindness for ourselves. They're how we relate to the people we're around, and they are absolutely should be at the forefront of how we act in the world. Right? We could take action based on these midot. So it's an invitation to come and be with us for the whole year, because we will continue to work together all year on these midot. It's at the center of what we do. So thank you for participating in that. And now we are going to move into the Aleinu prayer. And now we're back over here. We're going to move into the Aleinu prayer by Yom HaHu. If we all can live these values collectively, by Yom HaHu, we will see that day, that good day to come when our world will be transformed. Page 214. Please rise. Face the east. service with the Kaddish prayer. Before we do, we started with gratitude this morning, and we're going to end with gratitude. Thank you so much to St. Paul's Common for allowing us to be here, and to Frank Alton. We want to very much thank Jesse and Leo and John, and we want to thank with abundance, indescribable gratitude to Ellen and Bobby and Rebecca for this day and all days. Because of them, we have Nefesh functioning, growing. And these beautiful human beings right here, oh my goodness, I could weep with this gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Duvid. Thank you, Ari and Dan and Philip. We got to be with Philip today. And I'm sending love to Leah Ziegler. We will see her soon. Okay, friends. There is so much happening. We have these 10 days that start today and lead through Yom Kippur, and we have an offering every day. Tomorrow will be the shofar wave across the city. Again, our turn is at 3:10, the citywide shofar blast. Monday, we will release an audio of a tashlich ritual that you could do on your own, wherever you have a body of water, even if that means that's your bathtub. It can be done anywhere. Tuesday, I will be holding space and a cup of tea Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, holding space for your questions and inquiries and things you want to share as a group with me. Tuesday at 7 o'clock at night, holding space during the days of awe. Wednesday, we will offer a morning offering at 10 a.m. on Facebook. Thursday at 4, there will be Zen Tangles drawings on grief and gratitude, where we're headed to on Kol Nidre, with Katie Lipsit Thursday at 4. Saturday night, we will gather for a Havdalah over Zoom and a Sabbath session with Craig Redren. Beautiful soundscape. And Sunday will be Kol Nidre. So there is something for each of these Yamim Noraim as we open our hearts to dig deep, to open wide, to feel all that these days can bring us. Join us for all of that. Everything can be found on nefeshla.org. We end now with the Mourner's Kaddish, honoring the memory of those we have lost, making their memories be for a blessing. Just want to acknowledge, as Rosh Hashanah began, the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. May her memory be for a blessing, her grace, her strength, and all that her life brought. That is our focus, on all that her life brought. That is where we stay centered on her loss. So we ask you now to write in the names of those who you are saying Kaddish for into the chat. And if they could be shared, Ellen or Bobby or Rebecca, if you could share the names. And then David, who's in the first year of mourning of his father, his Abba, will lead us in the Mourner's Kaddish.
Oswaldo Abad, Roger and Max Leckman, Karen and Beverly Blumenthal, Jacob Gibson, Frida Denenmark, Bill Phillips, Bob Witt, Maurice Skirnick, Jessica grandparents, Walter and Evelyn Wisnowski, Lily Shaw, Jesse Alham, Meredith Smith, Halpern, S.J. Kahn, Nellie Lustein, Larry Krieger, Sitza Vanderheide, Kate Hunter, Harry Shapiro, Chuck Hall, another Flosika Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Jean Rodari, David Dionisio, Mercedes Ustrell-Astrom, Jack Baum, Jennifer Roosh, Dajon Tyson, Diane Baum, Ruth Joseph Shemansky, Jeff Cronin, Ira Nichols, Michael Lurksman, Ariel Davis, and Rachel Davis. John Shustak's father, Jerome. Naharim Ryder, Mrs. Laraway. Doug Trickhead's mother, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Nathan Bergeron, Mary Winstead, Camilla Concepcion, Elizabeth Bryant, Nick Jacoby, Adam Schlesinger, Mira Lyons, Essence Santos, Katie Brooman, Joanne Baum, Elaine Dixon, Charles Dixon, Jessica Iserov, Jeffrey Bidwell, Marilyn Gardner, Ellie Jacobson, Sue Robertson, Jerry Wayne, Frida Kaplan, Batia Flags, Dijon Kizzy, Sherry Solomon, John Aldez, Batia Flags, Doug's mother Jane, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, John Lewis, Michael Schmetz, Bill Withers, all the black bodies we have killed, Zach Lichtman, John Lewis, Melina Maya, Zenaida Brelskovska, and Sam Lax.
The mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 216.
I also just want to acknowledge great Uncle Jack, who passed away yesterday morning. He was 95, survivor of Auschwitz, amongst lots of other amazing things that happened in his life. May his memory be for a blessing. ויתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מברך לעולם ולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה ולעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם ואמרו אמן.
Amen. Let's reach for each other, everybody. Reach through your Zoom boxes straight into each other. And we sing, oh, say shalom. We pray for peace. We hold each other.
Amen.
we can see you here if you want to unmute for a second and just say hello. I'll see you on the screen.